Okay. So first of all, we have divided this control and coordination chapter into two parts. Okay. The first part is the control and coordination in human beings, and another one is control and coordination in plants. So firstly, we will going to discuss control and coordination in animals or in human beings. Okay. So let's discuss this, students, thoroughly. First one is that control and coordinations in vertebrates. We are just going to study. Okay, the control and coordinating, there are two types of control and coordinating agencies. Everyone should turn on my video so that I can give my expressions when I'm teaching you so that you can understood betterly. Okay, so one is that nervous system. There are two controlling agencies. One is the nervous system and another one is the endocrine system. Okay, one is the nervous system, another one is the endocrine system. In the nervous system, dear students, you need to understand this one. In the nervous system, what we have usually means we generally have spinal cord and brain. Means okay, and in the endocrine system, what we have in the endocrine system, we have hormones. Means what is that? That is a gland. Okay, we can simply say that endocrine systems are the system which is going to have there are another controlling agency that is controlling our body, like our heartbeat, like our blood sugar level, like our growth, like the water level in the body, whether it is hydrated or not. Okay, the blood sugar level, the pH level, and other stuffs. Okay, so it is controlled by secretion, is by secreting special agents that we called it hormones. Okay, we will discuss this one later. But first of all, we need to discuss that there are the two coordinating agencies that control and coordinates in our body, that control and coordinates our body. The first one is the nervous system. Another one is the endocrine system. The first one is nervous system and second one is the endocrine system. Okay. The first one is the nervous system is being further divided into three parts. The one is central nervous system. It is central nervous system that generally consists of brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. Everybody understood? The nervous system is divided into three parts. One is the central nervous system. Okay. The second one is PNS, peripheral nervous system. PNS means peripheral nervous system that consists of cranial and spinal nerves. That consists of, is my voice is breaking or is it clear?
Is it clear? It is clear.
Okay. The second one is peripheral nervous system. Peripheral means peripheral nervous system. It consists of only the cranial nerves and the spinal nerves. Let me give you that how I'm saying that it is having. Okay. So let me show you that what is the peripheral nervous system. Okay. Give you an example. These are the nerves that arises from this spinal cord. Okay, that is spinal cord, and these arises from these spinal cords. These are coming from the spinal cord. You see that this yellow color. These are the spinal nerve that are coming from this spinal cord that is yellow colored. Okay, and another one is similarly from brain. The spinal, the cranial nerves. Brain we call cranial. Okay, so cranial nerves arises from brain, and that also help in the control and coordination. So we have divided this peripheral nervous system into two parts.
The central nervous system says only the brain and spinal cord.
Yeah, it does. It contain only brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system consists of.
But the spinal nerves, they come from the spinal cord, right?
Yeah, it comes from the spinal cord, but we have made because they are entirely distributed in the whole of the body. Every part of the body is going to have a spinal nerve.
But it can still be considered part of the central nervous system.
No, central nervous systems, it is a sub part of central nervous system. You can simply say, or we can say that the peripheral nervous systems and central nervous systems. Okay, so it is going to have cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Means in the brain and spinal cord we have only central nervous system, but peripheral nervous system is going to have cranial nerves and spinal nerves that is coming from it. Okay, like we in the previous system we have studied that the transpiratory system, any circulatory system, okay, circulatory system is made up of what? It is made up of heart, blood, 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 and blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels. So vessels, blood vessels are separated from heart. So because it is a network of, like we have the blood vessels network, like we similarly we have the cranial nerves and spinal nerves everywhere in our body. So that's why we have separated this out. This peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves, and the another one is the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system, it consists of parasympathetic and sympathetic activities that we're going to discuss each and every one in detail. So please note it down fast so that you will, okay. Or if you want to study this one in thoroughly, then I will send you the notes. Then you can write it in your notes. I can only explain you. So whatever you like, if you want to copy it now in the class, during the class, then I will go through this one. If you want me to send these notes in your on your WhatsApp or your some other mail ID, I will send it to your mail ID or some other. I can explain it here so that the chapter will finish at faster rate. So which will like to prefer? Tell me. Are you writing?
Yeah, I am taking screenshots.
You are taking a screenshot. Okay, just take the screenshot from this one. That write it down in the copy. But please maintain the copy notes. It is very important.
Yes,
Okay,
sir, yes.
screenshot does not matter. Okay, I will send you. I will send you. I will send you. Okay, I will send you. So let's move further. Okay, let's move further. So you know that when we response, okay. So what is that thing that is making us to respond? For example, I'm feeling cold. I'm feeling bad smell. I'm feeling some very tasty food, or we can say that if I'm seeing a very good view outside my window, the mountain view or something. Why? What it make us feeling good or bad? What is that thing that us that make us to stimulate against the external stimulus? Why we are responding the external stimulus? That is simple. That are the 5 things that we are having, and that is called sense organs. So you can simply say that is the sense organ that are responsible for responding us to the external stimulus. Whatever we are responding, for example, we are responding against the very hot climate or cold climate, or we are responding to very good smell or bad smell, a good view or bad view, a good taste or bad taste. Okay. So that enables why we are able to see that one. That is just because of the sense organ. That is 5 sense organ. That is eye, ear, nose, skin, and tongue. Okay, and these are in short form. In we called it eyes photo. With light, photo means light. So eyes usually the light enters to our eyes, to our retina. So that's why we call photoreceptors. Ears called phonoreceptors. Nose is called olfacto. Skin is called thigmo, and the tongue is called gustato. So what we need to do that in vertebrates, control and coordination is done by 2 systems. First is the nervous system, and the second one is the endocrine system. Okay. Got it, dear student? That
Yes, sir.
invertebrate control and coordination is done by 2 systems. First one is the nervous system, and second one is the endocrine system. We have studied this one. There are 2 controlling agencies. And the nervous system held and assisted by these 5 sense organs, means which is helping to respond to the external stimulus. These are these 5 sense organs. Got it? Understood? Everyone
Okay.
understood? Ridwan, Ammar,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yaslin, Hashit, Zeba. Understood? Okay, let's move to the next part. Now, what would happen? What would happen when I'm just, if I'm having a hot cup of tea, okay? And if I'm feeling that my hand could not, this is very hot and I could not touch that one for longer time, what will I do? I will put that cup of aside, okay? And will do
Pull
my
our
hand like
hand
this, right?
backside.
Because, or if I suddenly touch a electrical substance that is having current in it. So if I touch it accidentally, then I will remove my hand instantly. What is that thing? So first of all, my skin, that is a sense organ. Okay, this is a sense organ. This will take the impulse to the brain or spinal cord. Generally, it will take it to the spinal cord, because this is a sudden action. And sudden actions are called reflex action. That we're going to study reflex action later. But what will happen when I touch the hot plate or a current applying substance? So the message will transfer to the brain or a spinal cord, okay? And then a spinal cord instantly responds to the effector. What will it? To the effector, to the muscles. It will respond to the muscles. Why it will it responds to the muscles? Because muscles when contract, we will remove our hand. Contraction and relaxation of hand. Why I'm just able to just contract with just fingering, closing my fingers and opening my fingers. How it is possible? Just because these muscles are contracting, and these muscles are contracting, relaxing, as it is making my hand to close it. Okay, so simply the information from these sense organ passed to the brain or spinal cord. This is passed to the brain and spinal cord with the help of a specialized cell called neuron. Neuron is the basic fundamental unit of nervous system. We can say that it is the basic fundamental unit of nervous system. Got it? You understood?
Yes, sir.
That neuron is the basic fundamental unit of nervous system. Okay. And you can simply say that what is the role of this one? That first of all, the message will transfer to the brain and spinal cord. The brain and spinal cord will interpret the message, whether it is a very hot substance or whether it is a very good. You cannot, if you are having a pizza in your hand, the brain will not send it back to throw it, will not allow you to throw it in the dustbin, no, because you know that pizza is very good thing. Okay, but if you are having some vulnerable substance like something that is affecting your body, so you will throw it instantly. The brain will sense the thing that whether it is good or not. The eyes will help you to see whether this thing is good or not. Okay, then this will suddenly take the action. So what does when the brain touch this, the skin touch this substance, whether it is hot or cold, then it will send the message to the brain or spinal cord. Then from the spinal cord, it will comes back to the effector or the muscles, and then we will remove our hand. Okay, so brain and the spinal cord then interpret the message and give appropriate command to the effector. Okay, and give appropriate command to the effector or the muscles. What will effectors? Why we are saying this is effectors? Because it will not going to give you the skin message to the skin. If you are having if you touch the plate, hot plate, it does not say that reverse the skin. This skin will become to this side and this skin become to this side. This is not possible. So what will it give the instruction to the muscles that please contract so that the person will able to remove his hand. Okay. If there is no contraction, there will be no removal of hand. So, okay, got it? Understood?
Yes, sir.
So let's move further. Man is the most advanced vertebrate animals, and the degree of control and coordination in human being is very high. Man is the most advanced vertebrate. Okay. Yeah, stimulant. Okay. Man is the most advanced animal, and the degree of control and coordination is very high. Means it is advanced. It is not just like some amoeba. If it is having it cannot run like that way where they usually run. Okay, it cannot see things. It cannot respond to the external stimulus like the advanced organism, the vertebrates. What are vertebrates? Vertebrates are those organisms that is going to have the spinal cord. Okay, so if we are having a spinal cord, so we are considered to be as vertebrates. So human beings have vertebral column or spinal cord. That's why we are called vertebrates. And since the spinal cord plays a very important role in the reflex action, suddenly if you are responding to the external stimuli, okay, so then this spinal cord help us. So if we have the organism that are having a spinal cord, their response to the external stimulus is very fast. Got it? Got it? Okay. So man is very advanced. Let's move to the next part of this one is that is the nervous system, and let's study that is neuron, the functional unit of nervous system, that is neuron. So let's study that one. What is neuron? Like other animals, we know that this is the structure of neuron. Okay, this is the structure of neuron. Okay, and we see that this is the main functional unit of nervous system. And what is this? That it is the main functional unit of the nervous system, and it is about 1 billion, 100 crores in numbers in a human being, and almost 1 meter in size. It is very large. It is the longest cell in the body, and that never divides. That never divides means it never divides. You understood that once the neurons is damaged, then it is permanently damaged. So if you are having a particular number of neurons, okay, then at the time of childbirth, then after you grow, the size of the neuron will increase, but the number of neuron will not increase. Okay, got it. So this is the speciality of neuron nerve cell, that it never divides. You can say it is a drawback or whatever it is, but it never divides. Moreover, the number of neuron is fixed, and it is approximately 1 meter in size. It may be 1 meter in size, and approximately there are 1 billion in a normal human beings. 1 billion. Got it?
Can we see them in naked eye?
Yeah, you can see. We can see it with the naked eyes. It is visible.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And it is true eukaryotic. What do you mean by the word true eukaryotic? Is there anyone who can explain me the word true eukaryotic? What are eukaryotic cells? What do you mean by the word eukaryotic cells? True eukaryotic means there are two types of cells. One is the prokaryotic, another one is the eukaryotic. So eukaryotic, true eukaryotic means that it is going to have completely bonded cell organelles. Means all the cell organelles, whatever they are, Golgi bodies, ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, they have nucleus. So all the membrane bonded organelles are present. Okay, almost all the membrane bonded organelles are present. So that's why we can say that it is true eukaryotic. It is not prokaryotic, like nucleus is not absent, or nucleus, there is no nucleus, there is no Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so there are other membrane bonded organelles are present. So it is a very good and specialized, and it has a specialized in conduction. It has a specialized structure. It can especially conduct impulse. Okay. Moreover, neuron do not divide during the entire life span. Neuron do not divide. Neuron do not divide during the entire life span. Thus, there is no. We can say that the number of thus their number remains same at the time of birth and afterwards. Okay. Afterwards, their numbers remain same. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Everyone understood? So tell me the characteristics of neuron. What are the characteristic features of neuron? Give me 2 or 3. Answer me.
Neuron are 1 meter long cells. They never. It is the longest cell, and it never divides.
Okay.
And it's a true eukaryote. It's a true eukaryotic, and
Okay.
So,
specialized
so,
in.
I'm
so
listening.
on there's space between each of the cells, right? The the nerves,
The nerve
Neurons.
space.
yeah,
They are two.
like they're like connected to each other, right? So, but
Yeah, they are
they're
connected
connected
to
to each
each
other,
other.
but they have space between each other, right?
Yeah, that is called synapse. When they meet together, that is called synapse. Okay. That junction is called synapse. Okay. And another thing, how many are there? There are about approximately 1 billion. True
1
eukaryotics
billion
never
crores.
divides. Okay. Or is there anyone? The main characteristics feature of neuron in the nerve cell is that its cytoplasm. This cytoplasm is having some glandular things. Cytoplasm is going to have some glandular things. Okay. And that we called it Nissel's granule here. That is cytoplasm is going to have something that is glandular in a structure, something like cell-like structure, something glandular thing, and that is the characteristic feature of neuron. Other cell do not have this type of feature. So when we simply say that this glandular thing is called Nissel's granules. Nissel's granules. And this is the characteristics feature of neuron or nerve cells. Okay, so we can simply say that okay, and that it is being divided into three main categories. That like explain one by one. The first part of the neuron is this one. Okay, this one, and this is called cell body. We also called it cyton, and we also called it cyton and soma, SOMA, soma. Okay, and this is the part. This part is called the axon. This part is called the axon. The longest part and the last part is called axon terminals, or we called it synaptic terminals. Synaptic terminals. You understood? Synaptic terminals.
This
Synaptic terminal. Okay. So this is synaptic terminals. Now you understood that we have divided, and this finger-like projections, that is coming, this is the outward growth that is coming from the cell body, that is called dendrites. What we called it? Dendrites. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
we have divided the neuron into three main categories, the three main parts. One neuron is divided into three main parts. Let me make here. Let me make it here properly so that you can understood more betterly that what is the main functions of these dendrites and nerve cells. Okay. So let us discuss this one. Yeah. For example, if I'm just drawing here a neuron, a nerve cell. So okay, this one is, let's suppose this one is neuron. Okay. Like this way, this one is just drawing because it's very hard to draw with the writing pad. Okay. So this one is nucleus, this one is dendroid. Just I'm going to explain the features only. And these are the specialized structures. And then we have the synaptic terminals. Okay. Now, what is this? This is the cell body. This one is the cell body. Okay. And here you see that this is axon, and it is filled with specialized fluid called exoplasm. This is a specialized fluid. We call it exoplasm. And here are specialized cell. We call it, okay, these are the specialized cell. And we call it Schwann cell. What we called it? Tell me. These are called Schwann cell. Schwann cell. Okay, these Schwann cells secrete myelin protein. And this protein is covering all around this. Let's suppose this is axon. Okay, and this is wind up with a specialized sheet or protein that we call it myelin protein. These are the covering. This black color covering. This covering is made up of myelin sheet. Okay, and this is the Schwann cells that secrete myelin protein. Schwann cell, we can write here, secrete myelin protein. And what is the main function of this? That's when dendroid receive the signals, then it is passed through cell body, and this myelin sheet help in the faster conduction of impulse. Got it? Like generally, the organism which are at low category don't have the Schwann cells. Their neuron, their nerve cells, which are not the organism which are not advanced, they don't have the Schwann cells. They don't secrete the protein. They don't have the myelin sheath. So the response or the transformation of signals is slow in that organism. But here, like human beings, the vertebrates, we have the Schwann cells, and Schwann cells secrete myelin protein, which have faster conduction of impulse. Got it? Understood? Done? Understood, student?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me explain you this one more time. Okay. So it is a true eukaryotic cell. We are just studying the neuron, the nerve cell. So what is the main function of cell body? The first part of this, that it simply contains the cell organelles. It contains the cell organelle. The main function is that it contains the cell organelles, like cell body. Cell body contains the cell organelle. The main portion of neuron, which contain true nucleus. It contains true nucleus, and usually cell organelles like such as mitochondria, Golgi bodies, and ribosomes. Means the mitochondria, the Golgi bodies, okay, whatever the cell organelles we have, all of them will be present in this structure. You understood? So where is, if someone asks you that which part of neuron is going to have the cell organelle? Option 1 is dendrite, axon, cell body, or synaptic terminal. So where it is present? Where it will be present? Tell me.
So which thing?
In which part of the neuron this cell organelle is present?
So organelle.
It will be cell body. Cell body. This region. This first region is going to have. Okay. We can simply say that this cell body is going to have these cell organelles where all nucleus is present, Golgi bodies, ribosomes. All the cell organelles are present in this region. Okay. The next one is, it consists of glandular cytoplasm called neuroplasm, because this one is going to have glandular cytoplasm called neuroplasm. So we called it Nissel's granules. Okay. These granules are called Nissel's granules. So this so many times it has been asked in the examinations that they will give you the dotted structure and will ask you that what is this? Label this one. What is it? This will be Nissel's granules. Okay. Got it? Got it?
Yes,
Cell
sir.
body. Now moving to the next one is dendrites. Okay. Okay. And what is the main function of Nissel's granules? That is glandular structure present in the cytoplasm of the cell body. What is the main function? That it help in the synthesis of protein, help in the synthesizing of protein. So main function of this one is that it help in the synthesis of protein. So these granules means which we were talking about, Nissel's granules. Nissel's granules. That is the identity. It is the identity. This is the identity of we can simply say that it is the identity of nervous tissue or neuron, that none other cell is going to have granules, glandular cytoplasm, but the cytoplasm of neuron is glandular, that is having some granule-like structure present, in some sand-like structure, you can say. If you touch it, means you cannot touch it because it is very small, but you can feel that it is something embedded in the cytoplasm, and that is some glandular structure. Okay, so we can say that this is the main characteristic feature of neuron. Okay, and it helps in the synthesis of protein. So what is the main function? Tell me, what is the main function of Nissel's granule? Tell me.
Contains proteins.
It helps in the synthesizing and manufacturing of protein. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Moving to the next part is dendrites. These dendrites, what are dendrites? Dendrites are these finger-like positions that are coming outward. Okay, these are coming. Now, what is the main function of these dendrites? So many times it has been asked in the examination. Dendrites are the fine or short finger-like projections, or you can say that these are the pulses that is being coming out from the cell body. That is finger-like position, you can say, hair-like position, you can say, that is coming out from the dendrites. And what is the main function of this one is just to receive the impulse from the receptors. Then this is the receptor, this is skin. If I touch the hot plate, then there are so many now neurons will be present here. Everywhere in the body, neurons will be present. And these nerve cells will receive the impulse. They will receive the impulse from the tongue, will receive the impulse from the eyes. It's better what you are seeing, is it good or bad? For example, if you see something that is very dangerous or horrendous, okay, or something horror, then your heartbeat will start increase, your heartbeat will increase, and you will see that the blood pressure will increase and so many things. So how it is activating the mind, because you are in the state of fear, and in the state of fear, your body need to your body start pumping blood at a very faster rate. Why? Because the eyes has given impulse that we have seen something very horror, and this is I need to escape from that position. So you will start running. And for that, you need to, when you are running, then you need high blood pressure, high glucose, glucose breakdown for using energy. So that signals that we are receiving, that we are having from our receptors, that is being received by dendrites. Okay. Moreover, you see that there is not only a one dendrite that is coming from eyes and reaching to the brain, from the toe to the brain. There will be junction between neurons. There might be junctions. So if it is the neuron of mid one, okay, like this one, like this way. If this one is the dendrite, for example, so what will it receive? It will receive the new signals from the adjacent neuron, the neuron that is present in front of it, adjacent one. So what is the main function of dendrite? If it is the first one, like this one is the first one, so this will receive the impulse from sense organs, okay, sense organ. But if this one, like this one is the dendrite, this one also, so it might also receive the signal from synaptic terminals, synaptic terminal of the adjacent neuron. Okay, so tell me, what is the main function? Tell me, dear student, what is the main function of dendrites? Tell me, participate in the class. Everyone need to
Send
participate.
signals.
Madiha, I'm not listening your
Send
voice. Can you answer? Can you answer me? What is the main function of dendrites? Dendrites serve to receive impulse from other neuron. If it is like this one, okay, if it is like this one, okay, so this one is receiving the impulse from the other neuron, and if it is the first one, then it might receive the impulse from effectors, okay, impulse from the sense organs. It might receive the impulse from sense organ. Got it? Understood?
Okay.
And next moving to the next part is that, yeah, do you want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay. Now moving to the next part is axon. What is the axon? Axon is the longest part of the neuron. This is the longest part of the neuron. You know, this one is the longest part of the neuron. So what is the main function? That it is just transferring the signals from cell body to the synaptic terminal. So the main function of axon, it is the longest part of the neuron, no, and its outer membrane is called exolemma, and the fluid present internally, in the fluid that is present inside this region. Okay, we can see this one. Okay, so but whatever the fluid is present in this one, this will be fluid present, that is called exoplasm. So you can write it. When you write it, you can learn each and everything properly, or when you revise 1 or 2 times, then it will be familiar for you. So it is the longest part of the neuron. Its outer membrane is called exolemma, and the fluid which is present inside it is called exoplasm. It terminates into many lobes. This is one. This one is axon, and it terminates. It ends into many knob-like structure called synaptic terminals. We called it synaptic terminals. The function is the conduction of impulse from cell body to synaptic terminals. Means it is just helping in the conduction of impulse from cell body, the first part of the neuron, to the last part, the third part of the neuron, that is synaptic terminals. Understood? Understood? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, I'm not listening the everyone voice. Tell me, you understood? Ridwan, Hashir. Okay,
Yes.
everyone. Okay, let's move to the next part. Now, moving to the next part is some neurons are myelinated. Myelinated means they are having myelin protein coating over it. Like I've given you the example here that this is the myelin protein, this one. Okay, this one is myelin protein, this one is also myelin protein, this one is also myelin protein, this one is also myelin protein. Okay, so some neuron are myelinated. Okay, there are some neuron that is myelinated. They are having sheet over one over other. Okay, so we can simply say that these sheets are secreted by these specialized cell. This specialized cell that is called Schwann cell. Schwann cells. And this protein, myelin protein, is secreted by Schwann cells, and they make a protein covering over this axon. And what is the main function of this myelin sheet? That it helps in the faster conduction of impulse. Got it? Understood? Dear students, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So some neurons are myelinated because they have a protective covering over of myelin protein. They have a protective covering over myelin protein. Myelin protein secreted by which cells? Tell me. Schwann cells. Which cell secretes Schwann? Tell me. Which cells secrete myelin protein? Name the cells which secrete myelin protein. Tell me. That is Schwann cell. Okay. Schwann cell secrete. In such neuron, the velocity means the neuron which is myelinated, means which is going to have myelin protein covering. Okay, so these cells, these neurons which are myelinated, in this type of neuron, there is a faster conduction of impulse. And this is the faster conduction of impulse is very high. And this type of movement is called saltatory movement or saltatory conductions. What we called it? We called it saltatory movement or saltatory conduction. Got it? Got it? Saltatory movement or saltatory conductions. Saltatory movement means this is a type of movement like we have the peristaltic movement. You know what is peristaltic movement? You know, any one of you know peristaltic movement? Peristaltic movement. You know, any one of you?
Yes.
क्या होता है बताइए? What is that? Peristaltic movement. The process that when we engulf the food inside the esophagus start pushing the food downward and start pushing it so forcefully that it will reach to the stomach. And this force is so high that if you eat the food having your face downward and feet upward, means like this way, upside down, then this peristaltic movement help us to engulf the food and will help us to reach the food to the stomach, even if we are having our feet upside and face downward. Anti-gravity it can work. In this way, that is called peristaltic movement. Similarly, the way that the impulse transfer in the axon, that is called saltatory movement, and that can be of 1 marks objective MCQ. Okay, 1 marks question, 1 marks. Got it? 1 marks question. So myelin sheet is not a continuous myelin sheet is not, you see that myelin sheet is not continuous at all points. That you see that there is a space between myelin sheet, and this space is called nodes of run wire. What we called it? This space, the junctions where the myelin sheet is not continuous like this way. Okay, this one is neural axon. So this portion where it is not continuous, this portion is called nodes of run wire. What we called it? Nodes of run wire. Okay, this one. Now you understood? Everyone understood what is nodes of run wire?
Yes,
So
sir.
many times it has been asked that if they will get the label diagram, so without label diagram of a neuron, and they need to ask you to label it. You need to label Schwann cells, you need to label myelin sheet, you need to label nodes of run wire. Okay, you need to label cell body, dendroids, axon, terminus. So you know the structure of neuron, that where, in which part, what is the name of each and every part. Okay, so everyone understood? Should I move forward? Let's move. Now, what is synapse? Synapse. This is very important question. What is synapse? What is synapse? Synapse is the junction between two neurons. When the two
Gap
neurons
between
mix,
neuron cells.
gap you can say. There's the junction. When the two neurons meet together, they form synapse. So what is synapse? But you can see here that this is synapse. The two neurons are meeting together here. That will be considered as synapse. We call it synaptic terminus. Okay. Got it? That is synapse. So when we zoom this one, you see that it is not in the direct contact. It is not in the direct contact with this one. We are not touching. This is like this way. Okay, it is not in the direct contact. You see that this part is zoomed here. This short part is zoomed here, and you see that this is not in the contact. Okay, here you see that there is a chemical substance present here, and there is a chemical between in these two. Here is chemical. So what is the function of synapse and what happened at synapse? The junction between two neurons is synapse. And the main function of synapse is that it helps in the conversion of electrical impulse into chemical impulse. You know that the transformation of impulse in neuron is electrical impulse, in electrical and chemical impulse, in the form of chemical impulse and electrical impulse. Means the message is transferred inside the neuron in the form of electrical and chemical impulse. In the neuron, it is transferred in the form of electrical impulse, but at the time of junction, or at synapse, when the two neurons are meeting, so at the gap between the two neurons, here it is converted into chemical impulse. Means the electrical impulse is being converted into chemical impulse. Got it? Electrical impulse is converted into chemical impulse. So where it is being converted into chemical impulse? Let me check. This one. You see here. So it is not in the direct contact here. So the main function of the neuron, at synapse, it is being converted. I mean, electrical impulse is coming. This is axon. Electrical impulse is coming, but here it is converted into chemical impulse. Then again, it converted into electrical impulse. So the neurons inside the neuron, it is in the form of electrical impulse. Then it gets converted into chemical impulse. Got it? Understood, everybody? Yes or no? Okay. Let's move. So let's move. Electrical impulse will reach only those cells that is not. What are the limitations? What happened at synapse? So first let's study what is synapse. Okay. The junction between two neurons is called synapse. The junction between two neurons is called synapse. Transmissions occurs through synapse with the help of specialized chemical. Means the junction between two neurons is called synapse. We called it synapse. Transmissions occurs with the through synapse with the help of specialized chemical. How does this transmissions occurs? With the help of a specialized chemical that is called neurotransmitter, such as acetylcholine. Okay, so let's explain this one. Let us discuss this one. Okay, so what happened at synapse? Simply you can say that at synapse the two neurons meet together, and here electrical impulse is converted into chemical impulse. Okay, got it? So what happens at synapse? What happens at synapse? One is electrical impulse, electrical impulse is converted into chemical impulse with the which is helping with the help of neurotransmitter. With the help of neurotransmitter, there is a fluid present that is called neurotransmitter. With the help of neurotransmitter. Okay, so write it down, please, or take the screenshot. Okay. Done, dear students. So today in today's class, what we studied about the structure of neuron. In the next class, what we're going to study, whenever we're going to have the class, and in the next class, what we're going to study? Tell me. We're going to study the human nervous systems, or we can study the some portion of reproductions if some students are facing problems, if they are going to have some exams. So we can keep this chapter in the revision and we'll move forward with the reproduction, or we can start with this one, whatever you like. We will decide in the class. Okay. Okay.